What is up, everybody? In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 tricks to land every single job that you quote. Some of these things may be illegal, so this is not legal advice by any means. This is just stuff that Mike does on a daily basis. Mike, how's it going, man?
Oh, it's going very well. I appreciate you asking, Justin. How are you?
I'm doing well. For anybody who's wondering, they're like, well, this isn't Friday. Mike can't do a live on Friday, so we're shooting the live today, and so it's a little bit out of
Right.
character for us, but Mike can't stick to the schedule, so we got to make an accommodation.
Well, I try my best to stick to the schedule. Unfortunately, I had a previous engagement which requires me to not be allowed on the internet this Friday.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. We won't venture too deep into what that is. We do want to let you guys know one thing before we get started, and that is Quote IQ now has a virtual call team, which the benefits are pretty much endless too. If you guys haven't checked it out already, it'll be the first link in the comment section and the description. You can actually try it out for yourself. Call into our virtual call team. All you got to do is dial this number right here, 912-689-3268. You can see a demonstration by Mike on how it works right here. And we do currently have a founder's deal. This isn't going to last very long because we're going to be ending it here soon. But essentially, anybody who signs up is going to get unlimited minutes for the call team. And for anybody who doesn't know how call teams work, essentially, there's minutes included in each plan. And if you go over those minutes, you get charged overages. Well, right now, we're waiving those for anybody who jumps on board. So if you're somebody who gets a lot of calls in to your business or just gets calls in general while you're working and you can't answer every call, then you need to be checking out Quote IQ's virtual call team. It tracks calls for you. There's a call log, which breaks down everything, all of the customer's most important information, their name, phone number, email address, and gives you a brief description of the call transcriptions as well in the app. You're going to be able to play the call so you can hear exactly what went on, as well as you could choose the voice of your call team if you go with tier 2. So if you guys want to check it out, first link in the comment section description. Me and Mike are super proud of it, and the founder's deal is ending very soon. So Mike, anything you want to add to that?
Well, the founder's deal, excuse me, is something that, like you said, if you're interested, if you're somebody that, and again, like it doesn't matter if you've got, 2 or 3 calls a day. If you're not answering those calls, they're going to voicemail. You're not picking them up until later. Guess what happens? The chances of losing those jobs increases exponentially. So I'm dying.
The other thing is if you're tired of solicitors calling you, if you're tired of Angie's Leads calling you, if you're tired of people trying to build your website and people telling you stuff's wrong with your Google account, it's another good way. Also, it tracks calls, right? So if you're somebody who does a lot of yard sign advertising, or you want to track your Facebook marketing or your Google ads marketing, and you want it to go to a specific number so you can track that lead flow and through that number, it's another good thing to have that. So
yeah, absolutely. A great gauge for ROI. But what I was going to say was, it doesn't matter if you're, brand new or you have been in business forever. If you have got phone calls coming in and you're not able to answer them, you're losing business. Whether you like it or not, it is the truth. It is inevitable. You're going to lose business. People are going to go elsewhere. They're going to call your competition. So by having something in place like this, whether, like I've had a call team forever, it helps me close more jobs because it buys me time until I can get back to that customer. It's basically, they're just they have a little teeth in the game now. They've given the information, they've given you the phone number, the address, what they're looking for, right? They're not going to call somebody else because, they've already invested a little bit of time and energy with you. So it buys you some time until you can get them back. But what I was going to say about the founder's deal is, call teams in general are unbelievably expensive. And because of that, a lot of people just starting out don't even contemplate the idea simply because they think it's out of their budget. Well, we understand who is needing this, right? We were those guys that needed this. We are still those guys that need this. And because of that, we have made this, we have designed this, we have built this, and we have priced this. So it is absolutely attainable for everybody, right? We want the guy that just started last week or the guy that's been in business for 10 years to be able to afford this. Tier 1, $99, right? And there's no overages. There's no minutes, right? If you go and you just do a quick search on social or on home service business call teams, right? There'll be a few that pop up. Look at the minutes that they offer, the prices that they offer for a monthly plan, and then what they charge you for overages. It is insane. I just got hit the last time that I paid my old call team $586 for overage minutes on top of what I was paying for the monthly, right? And the few minutes that, came with that program. So this is the hell of a deal. It's the founders deal. Get in on it while you can, because it's not going to last. We are going to, this is a venture that costs money to run, and we have to eventually charge for these overages. So get in while you can.
Boom. All right. With that being said, we're gonna holler at a couple people in the chat, and then we're gonna jump into the topic of today's video. Chris is here. Chris, the strapping guy, says thanks for the help. We did just help Chris out on a little bit of an issue. We're here to help sometimes. And if you guys
especially
need
Chris,
especially Chris, Chris is a great guy. Wallace Wimmer, couple emojis. We love it, Wallace. Thank you. Ricky Carter, what's up, fellas? Hope you're doing good. We're doing well. Doing well.
Thank you, Ricky.
Joe Young says yo. And
Yo, Joe.
Josh says, guess you had as much luck as Joe Deary.
No, I don't even know what that means.
We're not gonna eat. We don't know what that means, and we're not doing anything, talking about anything. So let's go and jump into the topic of today's video. 5 tricks to land every single job that you quote. First and foremost, answer the call. Okay. A lot of people can't get to the call. It is convenient that that's our number one, because obviously we did build the Quote IQ call team. But you guys would be surprised how many calls that you get. And I know if y'all have been in business for a while, you've gotten this. You've missed the call. You call them back an hour later, maybe even 30 minutes in some cases, and they go, yeah, sorry, we went with somebody else, because someone answered, someone gave them a quote, and they put them on the schedule. So the name of the game is get back to people as quickly as possible. And if you're working, the beautiful thing about a call team is you can screen them out. Like, you'll get a little buzz notification. Oh, I can't answer the phone right now. You check it out. You can tell the difference between what is an apartment complex quote and what is a back patio cleaning in a matter of an instant. So that's a beautiful thing with also screening your calls. So Mike, talk a little bit about answering the phone and why it's important if you want to land all your jobs.
The majority of people that are probably watching this, or that are, in this industry, what we're doing, or really any home service industry, they are, like we've said a million times, we wear a lot of hats, right? And you can't be doing everything that needs to be done in order to run a business successfully 24/7, right? So you need to implement things that are going to allow you to maintain that level of professionalism, give the appearance of a business that maybe is a little bit bigger than it is, but also allows you to capture every lead that comes in, right? Leads are an unbelievably valuable thing for any business, right? Now, yeah, you can throw up a free Google business profile, right? You can invest your time and energy into creating that profile that hopefully starts to rank. You get your reviews, you start getting, pushed up higher in the rankings, and then people are going to find you organically. But unfortunately, most of the time, a lot of the leads that we have coming into the business are leads that we are paying for, right? Our marketing, our advertising, these all cost money. And that is what we call the cost of, customer acquisition cost. And so every customer, every potential lead has a value assigned to it if it's not organic traffic. And so with that being said, every lead that you miss, every lead that you lose, that's money that you're throwing out the window. It could be money that you're realizing profit from if you're able to capture that lead. So, I talk about it all the time. The faster that you can get back to the customer, the more phone calls that you can answer, the more contact that you can have with potential customers, whether it's a call team, whether it's a text, whether it's an email, like those are critical components that are going to allow you to close more jobs faster than your competition, and hopefully prevent those customers or those potential customers from calling anybody else, right? Because you were there first. You answered the phone call. Your team answered the call. You got the information. You hit them with a text. Say, hey, I'll, either here's your price or here's your quote, because you can do that in a matter of seconds with Quote IQ. And that's the other cool thing about having at least our call team is it integrates with the CRM with Quote IQ. So that all that information that they input when that call team took that information, you can push a little button in the app and it transfers everything to a contact. Now that contact is ready to just send an estimate over. Boom. You can look up the property on the map measuring tool. You can measure it. You can see it visually with the street view. And then you can send them a quote, honestly, under a minute. And there's nothing else that's more impressive. I hear from my customers all the time is, wow, did you come by? Did you look at my house? I did look at your house, but I didn't come by. Do you want to get on the schedule? Yes, we do. Thank you. You're welcome. Give me your money.
Boom. Okay. And that's how Mike likes to do business. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I just had a recent occurrence where it just happened actually, was it yesterday or the day before? I had to get a new windshield for my wife, right? It had cracked and it had been cracked for a while. So it like tends to travel when it cracks. And so it started to look really bad. So I was like, I got to get this changed out. So I called a couple companies, right? Called one company, no answer. Called another company. They answered immediately. I said, hey, I need to get my windshield changed out. They said, great. Do you want to do an insurance claim? I said, yes. They called the insurance provider. We got everything handled up and I was scheduled within probably 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, the first guy that I called shot me a text and he said, hey, were you still interested in getting your windshield changed? No, because I've already been taken care of. So if you can't be first, if you're not first, you're last. You know what I'm saying? So you guys need to find a way to
You got that right.
answer the call and find a way to service those people. Ricky had a good question. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, you can go. No, because
I was just going to say, Ricky had a good question. If you guys have questions, leave them in the comment section. Me and Mike are going to hit them on the back end of the call.
Okay. I hear this all the time when talking to customers, and it's like, especially people that are like new to the area, right? And it seems like it's somebody, coming in with a different perspective, and it could be somebody that lived here forever, whatever the case is. But they always say, man, it sure is hard to get anybody on the phone. No one answers. It sure seems like none of these businesses, none of these contractors want to work, right? And so I hear that from customers all the time. But then I hear all the guys that are in the trades that run service businesses, they're constantly saying, I'm not busy enough. I don't have enough work. I can't get customers. Well, goddamn, answer your phone, right? People are calling. If you do your job, get your business in front of in front of eyeballs that are looking for what you're providing. There are people out there that are looking. So you're failing in your marketing, you're failing in your advertising, you're failing in your branding. And of course, those are three separate things. And because of that failure, you aren't busy. People are calling. People aren't getting return calls. Be the guy that is getting those calls, be the guy that is answering those calls, and be the guy that is closing those deals.
Right. And if we look at the 80-20 principle, Mike, this is where this kind of plays in. It's like 20% of the guys who are at the top of the Google rankings are getting 80% of the call volume. That's why these people are like, I can't get anybody on the phone. It's because those people are being overwhelmed. They're being inundated with calls when you have the other 80% of the people that offer the service that are not in those top Google rankings. They're not getting the call. So be where people are searching for your service and you're going to have no problem, and set up the tools in place to where you can quote fast, you can answer every call, and you can take advantage of every lead that comes into your business.
And just, I'll throw this out there. Now, this is a no profit for me. I'm not making money. There is no ulterior motive here, right? I'll be the first to tell you, I am a salesperson. I am going to sell you stuff. If, we've got great products, we've got Quote IQ, we've got the virtual call team, we've got all kinds of things, but I wanted to do something for free. I wanted to do something for, people in the home service industry, the guys that watch the channel, the guys that watch Justin's channel, they watch the Quote IQ channel. And so I was doing a lot of research on ranking and search engine optimization, Google bots, how they crawl, backlinks, because backlinks are a very important component of how Google views your business and then how it ranks your business. And what I have found is there is a very, I don't even know the right word. Very strong backlinks are available for absolutely free on a platform that I've never really been a part of or used, and it's Reddit, right? Reddit is something now, if you search stuff, randomly on Google, you are going to see a plethora of Reddit posts where people are upvoting and doing all that, right? It's like the old internet forums, but it's Reddit. There's forums, there are very specific communities. So I created a community called Pressure Washing Growth. So if you go to Reddit and you search Pressure Washing Growth, you'll find that Reddit. Join it. And then what you can do is you can go in, you drop your business name, you drop your phone number, your website, a little bit about the services that you offer. I went into ChatGPT and I put in my zip code and I said, I want all of the zip codes, separated by commas, for a 50-mile radius of this particular zip code. It spit them all out. I put that in the Reddit post. I did the exact same thing. Give me all of the communities within the distance of this zip code. It doesn't. Give me all of the counties or where Justin's from. What do they call them?
Parishes.
Yeah, parishes, right? And it spits out all of the so then you put all of that stuff in this Reddit posting, and you let it go, right? Then you upvote it, you get some people to comment, you comment on other people's stuff, and then if you really want to rank higher and get your business in front of others, you maybe do like a little blog post. It doesn't have to be too in depth, but something of value, some pictures, whatever. Put it in there, and eventually you're going to have a lot of good backlinks to your website because of this free community that we built. And there's no selling in it. There's nothing. It's just a great community, and it's for pressure washing growth. So if there's other opportunities, questions you have, throw them in there, and I'm hoping that this becomes something that's pretty big and pretty cool.
And if you guys want a direct link to it, you can check out Mike's channel. Super easy and free. Google ranking SEO hack. This is what he's talking about right here. So be sure to check that out if you are interested. Okay, so 5 tricks to land every single job that you quote. First one is answer the phone, okay? Because you're not going to quote anything if you're not answering the phone, okay? Second one is going to be quote fast, okay? Speed to the lead. This is one of Mike's favorite things to talk about. The Amazon mentality, right, Mike? We like to get everything fast. Customers like things fast. And a large majority of our customers go with the first quote that they get, barring that it's reasonable and it's not something crazy. Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about that, Mike?
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes hand in hand with everything else that we're talking about, right? In order to close more deals, you have to be the fastest person back. I can't remember what the statistic is. And there's a bunch of them that, like for every 5 minutes you don't return a call or you don't get back to the customer, your opportunity of closing, decreases by 20% or something like that. It's ridiculous. And so 20 minutes later, the chances of you getting that job in today's world with technology as we have it, you're not going to get the job, right? So in order to close more jobs, A, you got to answer the phone. B, you have to be prepared to give a quote to the customer super fast. I was just on, and I'm going to drop that video tonight with Joe Deary, Powerful Improvements, and we went in depth about how important it is. Joe is a guy that does 5 or 6 jobs every single day. He's a solo operator. On occasion during this, his busier season, he has 1 or 2, one of his kids help him out, but when you're doing 5 or 6 jobs a day and you're that busy and he's booked out for several weeks, you can't go and look at every single property. Yet he is staying unbelievably busy and it's a rolling, calendar, full schedule. So he keeps booking, he keeps getting jobs, but he can't go out and give quotes to every customer because he's working, 5 or 6 jobs every single day. Do you know how he does it? He's got it. He says, hey, send me a picture of the front and the back of your house, the address. Boom, gets him a quote like that. Closing deals while he's working, and that is something that we've built into Quote IQ. We've given you guys the tools that you need in order to quote with ridiculous speed and accuracy. Right? There are times I hear people say, "Well, I'm not going to give a quote over the phone because what if the house is dirtier than I thought?" Well, if you're an intelligent human, then you take that into account, right? Yes, we all know square footage. We all know what our hourly rate is and what our target, profit margin should be for each individual job based on all of the things that we know about our business and the costs that we need to cover, right? We know these things. You also, with a little bit of experience, understand the area you live in, the houses, kind of what you're dealing with, and you quote worst case scenario, right? Yeah, I need to get my gutters cleaned. Okay, I'm going to measure, I'm going to go to Quote IQ. I'm going to use a map measuring tool. I'm going to measure it. I know how many linear feet there is. It's going to spit out a price based on my parameters. And that price based on my parameters is worst case scenario, right? That means I am anticipating that every single inch of those gutters is completely clogged. All the downspouts are clogged, and I'm going to quote it accordingly. Now, if we get there, we throw the ladders up, we look down, and what I quoted to be an hour-and-a-half job based on the size and scope turns out to be a 20-minute job. Guess what? That's a win, right? So very rarely have we run into scenarios where we got shit out of money, right? Because for every job that there's the potential of that happening, there's 30 jobs where it's a home run and you don't have any you're not doing anything but just making money. So,
like, what are you trying to say here? You know what I mean, big guy?
Essentially what I'm trying to say, Justin, is if you don't get back to the customer fast enough, ain't going to happen.
Beautiful. So that's why we built the map measuring tool within Quote IQ. As you guys just saw, I was able to measure out the house, the back patio, and all the concrete in the front. And you could easily multiply that times whatever your rates are. Within the app, we actually have rates. What are they called, Mike? They're industry averages,
National
national
averages.
averages. So that way, if you guys are kind of struggling with where should my rate be, you can kind of test that out. We also have the close ratio, which helps you kind of dial in depending upon how many jobs you're quoting, how many jobs you're landing, what that close ratio is, and kind of helps you find the right number for that. So answer every call, quote as fast as you can, get the customer price as fast as you can. And the next one is obviously professional estimates. Now, this is one that we've heard time and time again. A lot of people that I've talked to that use Quote IQ, they say that they'll send these to their friends and their family, the estimates within Quote IQ, and they can't believe it. They're like, is this Tom that I knew that I grew up with, or is this a professional company? Because they look so professional. They look next level. And whenever you give that appearance of professionalism, you actually get treated differently and you can actually charge more money. Right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was one of the things that I've always kind of tried to do with my business. It's the branding aspect, right? Branding is very, very important because good branding allows you to charge more, right? Let's think about something as simple as a pair of socks. Okay, you can go to Walmart and you can buy a 6-pack of white socks for $12. You throw a Nike logo on there, that's a $40 pack of socks, right? Why? Because Nike has done a phenomenal job branding, right? Walmart, generic socks, not so much. But people are willing to pay for something that they believe in and they trust. And you might be thinking, oh, well, it's a pressure washing business. How are you going to brand that? You're going to brand it by looking professional, having consistency in your branding and your marketing, right? You're going to look professional. You're going to provide professional estimates. You're going to have a call team that answers in a professional manner. Everything that you do to build up your brand in the eyes of potential customers, giving them confidence, gaining their trust, because people believe in the appearance, right? They say it all the time. First impressions are the most important. Now, if you make a really bad first impression, right? Like if you roll up to somebody's house in your pickup and you look sloppy, and whatever the case is, maybe you got to dip in, I don't know, and people aren't going to take you as seriously, right? You handwrite an estimate. Hey, yeah, we can get out here next week, or you hit them with, a super professional looking estimate that they have to approve. They have to agree to the terms and conditions. Everything is right there for them, right? Again, confidence, the professionalism is going to allow you to make more money.
Mike always spits his dip out before he goes and meets with customers, right, Mike?
I just swallow it. I don't.
Okay, you don't spit, right? You just swallow.
No.
That's good to
Yeah.
know.
Good one, Justin. I walked right into that one.
All right. So answer every single call, quote fast, professional estimates. You guys had no idea this is going to turn into this, and you didn't even have to pay any money for the OnlyFans. It's incredible. Now let's go and talk about automating the follow-up. Mike, you've kind of coined all this, Mike. I think that you're like at the frontier of like the transition in the service industries, because with regards to answering the calls, you've had a call team for 10 years. With regards to quoting quickly, you've been quoting quickly for a very long time. Professional estimates, automating all of your follow-ups. These are all things that you've been doing for a long time. So let's talk about the importance of automating the follow-up and what some of that looks like.
Okay, real quick. So we kind of strategize about, the videos that we're going to do on Fridays. Today's Thursday because of something that else is going on. But we try to come up with stuff that we think is going to provide the most value for the people that are watching, right? And if you watch, if you consume, if you implement, it's stuff that really can and will help your business get better, right? And so we get a lot of comments in the YouTube and other places where people don't say nice things about us, right? And so we were thinking about reading comments and statements from the interweb about us and the things that people don't like about us, right? And there were several things. Like someone was saying that they liked Justin, or they liked him a little bit, but and they felt that he seemed like a nice guy for the most part. But me, on the other hand, I've got beady eyes and a stressed face, and definitely not somebody that they felt they could trust. And so that's just an example of of the things that we want. But with all of you were just saying about automation and kind of being on the forefront of, looking at the processes, the systems, and doing everything we can to make our businesses run smoother and more efficiently because we are small, right? I have this guy that's been commenting. His name's Matt, on a bunch of my videos. And he says that constantly is commenting that Mike wants to have a soulless business, and that he thinks that all humans should be replaced with AI, and it's that automation is terrible, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, like I kind of get what you're saying, right? Like we're not replacing jobs per se. Like I've still got a bunch of employees. We've got a bunch of employees with quote IQ, and it's just funny to me how people like it. The whole
what does
automation
technology
thing.
do though? It makes things cheaper. Like it just does. It's just like it's a normal thing. But
And that's one of the biggest things that we hear about, and why we're so aware, and why we've built our products, quote IQ, why we've built quote IQ, the virtual call team, all of these things, InstaQuote, and we've priced them the way they are because, things are expensive, and we understand that, and we want things to be attainable, and we want people to be able to implement these things in their business, because then once you do, you're going to start seeing the return on the investment on these things. And guess what? The $29 for your entry level CRM isn't a lot of money anymore. Maybe it was, for you 6 months ago or whatever. And maybe a call team, something you didn't think you could ever afford. And then you realize, well, shit, these guys are doing it for $99, right? Like that's a month. Like that's amazing. Like, and it all comes back to technology. It comes back to, utilizing the things like automation. And we'll get back to the point at hand, which of course was using
Mike
automation.
is gonna be pissed when he has to edit this, Mike.
Mike, are you going to be pissed? Are you going to be upset when you have to edit this because I'm going off the rails? Okay.
Guys, one of the reasons why we do these and we like structure them with points is so that way we can make sure everything stays cohesive, right? And
I'm not good at that. I've got attention deficit, maybe a little bit of some hyperactive disorder in there as well. I'm not medicated, so it is what it is.
Right. Okay, so okay. So answering every call, quoting fast, professional estimates, and then obviously the next one is automation, right, Mike? So let's talk about the importance of automation. Obviously, like you had mentioned, people get angry about automation because they feel like it's replacing jobs, but that's not really the case.
It's making our lives easier. It's making us more efficient. It's allowing us to not only do the things that we need to do in order to make money, but it's also allowing us to do the things that we need to do in order to run successful businesses, right? Follow up. Communication is the key, right? And with automation, and specifically when we're talking about like how to close more jobs, the follow-up is one of the most critical pieces of the entire sales process, because not everybody is going to just say, yep, let's go with it. A great price. There are going to be people that call around. There are going to be people that maybe they were just, hey, yeah, I'm not ready to do it yet. I need to talk to my wife, whatever those, all the roadblocks and the excuses people make for not getting on the schedule right away. But you don't want to lose those people, right? Because if they get out of the funnel, right, then you're never going to hear from them again. You're never going to see them again. So that's why it's so important, A, to have some sort of process to collect all of the information from potential customers, phone number, email, name, address, right? So you have those things so you can continue to market to them and you can follow up. If you're not following up like within an hour or two, even after giving the quote, right? Hey, I just wanted to follow up and say, hey, let me know if you wanted to get on the schedule. It's filling up, create some scarcity, whatever the case is. Can you do this manually without automation? Of course you can, but are you going to do it? Probably not. If you're up on the roof, if you're pressure washing, if you're doing a driveway, if you've got X, Y, or Z going on, you are going to forget about that no matter how diligent you are. That's why we have put these things into place. I've been doing it for 100 years. Automation, email automation, text automation. We've even got, voicemail automation now where, you can set triggers and the customers are going to get a ringless voicemail saying, hey, it's Mike with All American. Guess what? I just wanted to check in on you, see if you made a decision. If so, give us a call back. You've got the quote in your email. We'd love to work with you. These are all things that are going to make your business so much better. And it's going to make you more efficient. It's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of heartache and energy. And it's going to, at the end of the day, like had I had these things implemented early on, things would be very, very different.
It's going to make it seem like you're in 5 places at once. For anybody who doesn't know, we use automation for everything. And one of the things we use it for specifically is people that download Quote IQ. And so I'll give you guys a little bit of a hint here. You can check it out for yourself. If you download Quote IQ and you sign up for an account, you're going to get a voicemail from Mike that says, hey, thank you so much for checking out Quote IQ. Schedule a demo here. If you have any questions, let us know. And it allows us to touch every single person that comes into the funnel and, make a first impression and just reach out and tell them what they need to do. So we use automation all the time. It just makes things easier, and it allows us to be everywhere at one time. And we got a funny text one time. It's a couple of days ago, actually. The person said it's past like 10 p.m. And it's like, yeah, because it's automated. Like it might send you a call at 12 or something. But anyway.
Yeah, that guy was mad.
He was angry. Yeah, because he was.
But like the thing about it was he was on, right? Like it wasn't like we delayed it and sent it at 3 a.m. He was on at 3 a.m. He downloaded the app and he got put into the process.
Right. It's going to hit you wherever you enter it at or whatever. So answering every call, quoting fast, professional estimates, automating your follow-up. Next one we're going to get into is kind of the last steps. We said 5, but it's kind of 6 tricks in order to land every single job. The last one is when the customer doesn't like the price, how do we react? There's 2 things. We can either build in more value or we can lower what we're charging. Okay. Because typically there's 2 things that people don't like when it comes to pricing. Either the price is too high or the value isn't high enough. So Mike, you want to talk a little bit about, how you handle these situations?
Yeah. And I'll also say that what I'm about to talk about and my perspective on this is different probably than, a large portion of people that are watching that maybe are new in business and don't have the same type of lead flow, don't have the same, repeat business that we have, and maybe don't have the same ability to spend dollars on marketing like we do to gain these leads, right? So the more lead flow that you have, the higher your prices are going to go and the less likely you are to succumb to people's requests to lower your price based on their perceived value of what you offer, right? What their perception of your value is has 0 impact on your pricing. And that's something that I didn't learn until, long into my business. And I allowed other people's pricing, right? Some homeowner's pricing, what he thinks he should pay, have an impact on how I go to market, at least for that particular customer. And so as far as objections, like Justin said, people, you hear it all the time. Oh, well, someone else can do it cheaper, or oh, I think that's too much. Well, you think it's too much based on what? Like your opinion on what? That you don't think that a pressure washing guy should make, $800 to clean your house? Well, that's not my problem. That's your problem. And so if you're just starting out and you're hungry, then sure, there are some negotiations that can be had. But I think it's very important not to lower the bar so high, because it's way harder to increase prices than it is to decrease, to lower your prices. So start high, right? Start quoting, don't be the cheap guy. Quote more than you think that you're worth, because that's probably what you're actually worth, because a lot of people going into this, they really don't understand the value that we provide. And so quote more than you're worth. And then if somebody has an issue, find out, ask the questions like, why do you feel this way? Why do you think that my pricing is too high? Have them tell you what the problem is, right? Oh, it's out of my budget. Okay, well, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. Well, there's just so many variables, Justin. I don't.
Okay. Well, we're going to give a particular example here in just a second. So
for
me, one thing that we ran into one time was we quoted a house wash. Afterwards, the lady wanted to get like her back patio clean, and we said, hey, we can't do that for free. It's going to be an extra charge. Okay. She wasn't happy with that. I said, you know what? If you book today, we'll just do it for you for free. Just kind of squeeze her into the booking. That's one way that you can do it. The other way that you could do it is, you could take a little bit off the price. So like you said, Mike, it's very specific to the instance and specific to the customer and specific to the lead flow. So if you have less lead flow, obviously you can negotiate more on price. If you have more lead flow, you could probably use, doing free labor as more of a negotiation tool. Now, go ahead.
Well, I was going to
Mike,
say,
I want you to share what happened today. You had a
okay,
story
well,
today. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the email out. So I get the message in the app that I got a call. So the virtual call team answered this call, collected all the information. I look at the house, I pull it up, I see that, I see the house, and then I'm like, okay, I want a little more information because of where the house is located. It's a $1.6 million valuation on this house, right? It's on deep water, beautiful home, right? Not a huge home, but because of the location, I think it was like 4,300 square feet. So I send the guy a message and, I'm like, hey, this is Mike with All American. We can clean your house for $850. Okay. And his response was, sorry, your rates are high. Just the front only should not be that much. And I said, oh, just the front only. And he goes, yes, sir. And I said, okay, 425. Okay. And then I sent that at 10 a.m. At 1:59 p.m., he comes back with this. And Justin, I don't think I read this to you. I read this, but I didn't read. This is what he says. I have a flyer for $50 off. Will you honor that and take $50 off for scheduling this week? Another quotation that I received was for $150, but that person is not available for about 3 weeks. And of course he's not, because he's charging $150 for whatever. We will pay for the gate pass. Please let us know. Thanks. So my response, nope. Stop being a cheap ass and call someone else. You should be ashamed of yourself. And then he said, well, then stop sending those flyers. Your vulgar language will not bring any business. Probably true.
Mike, can you show this to us so we can believe it?
Yeah. Hold on. I said, why would anyone want to do business? Why would anyone want to do business with someone who tries to get something for nothing? It's disgusting and pathetic. Be a better person.
Boom.
And so it was read, right? And it was, hold on, let me see. He didn't respond to any of that, but yeah, hold on. Let me,
we made a specific video on this, and a couple of the red flags that you guys will see. You probably don't want to put his number in here, Mike. Are you going to block out his number?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Okay. We can't see it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Couple of the red flags that you guys will see in this is after they get the first price, they'll ask if you can do like a partial cleaning. Well, can you just clean this for me instead? And then after you got a better price, hey, I have a coupon code. Can I apply that to the price? It's just like red flag after red flag after red flag. So when you go,
and also there was another red flag when the information came, and I knew immediately who I was dealing with, the type of person that I was dealing with, right? And again, no judgment, but when there are flags risen, right? Be prepared. And that's, sometimes when you see these things and these things, you raise your pricing because you know exactly what's going to happen. They're going to try to beat you down. And I'm not a big fan of that, clearly. And a guy like that, right? I don't care if he talks shit because everybody knows he's an asshole. I've got a neighbor that lives on the corner of my street. And this guy, I hate him. And the reason that I hate him is because he wastes people's time, right? Contractors' time. And I used to kind of, because he was my neighbor, I was like, oh, I'll be a good guy. He would call me. He hasn't called in like 6 or 7 years, but he used to call me like, hey, Mike, it's Lola. I want to get a house wash. Can you give me a price? And I'm like, yeah, it's $300. Don't tell anybody that I gave it to you for that price because that's the neighbor discount. He's like, oh, wow. That's a little more than I wanted to pay. I'd like to get it, maybe 100, 125. And I was like, no, but I did it a couple times for like, 150, $200 just because I was weak. I was being a good neighbor, or so I thought. I wasn't being a good business owner. I was being a nice guy. And those things don't always go hand in hand. I mean, they can, but not to the detriment of your business and losing money, because that is a money losing operation when you do things like that. And so long story short, this guy, every time, like my wife and I will see him, and he'll have, there'll be a pickup truck out there, and he's out there pointing at different things, right? Whether it's getting a new roof, getting painting done. He had gutters installed. Like over the past, like, I don't know, 9 months, I'll bet you I've seen 40 freaking, contractors there, just constant. It's like, and do you know what he's doing? He's beating them up, every single one, until he gets the cheapest price. And then the beautiful thing is it's not the guys that are in the nice trucks with the wraps that are there doing the job. It's the guy that's in the freaking minivan who is trying to do gutters with his fat wife. That's, like, it's just terrible, right? He gets the worst people for the lowest price, and he wastes everybody else's time. And I've got zero tolerance for people like that.
There you go.
So if you're watching, you know who you are, and I don't like you now.
And you go to hell. Okay.
Yeah, never call me. And if you see me, look the other way.
All right. If you never want to answer a call like that again, be sure to check out our virtual call team. It'll be the first link in the comment section and the description. You can try it for yourself. All you got to do is dial the number 912-689-3268. We do a founders deal, which means that for any tier that you get, which is the light and the pro, there's no limits on minutes. You get unlimited minutes, barring the fact that you're not making, 100 calls a week. So, with that being said, you guys check it out. First link in the comment section description. It comes with a bunch of other good stuff, call tracking, all the other goodies in there. So check out Quote IQ's virtual call team. That's pretty much everything with regards to the tricks, though. You want to answer every call, quote fast. You want professional estimates. Automate the follow-up so that way you don't have to think about it. And if the customer doesn't like the price, either throw in something extra for free, adding more value, or discount the service a little bit.
Or ask questions. And I think that really goes back to it more than anything. Like, if you're in a scenario where, you really do need the work, want the work, and are maybe willing to concede a little bit before conceding price, I think it's very important to ask questions of the customer. So tell me what's the most important thing to you? Is it, the price, or is it, X, Y, or Z? Can you tell me, have you had a bad experience with somebody else? Or, if they say, well, the guy that did it last time, well, tell me about that. Why are they not back here this time? Oh, well, because of this, that, or the other, right? Asking questions and then shutting your mouth and listening is going to give you a lot of good information in order to, talk to these people and explain to them the value, because a lot of people, like Justin said earlier, they're looking for value. It's an exchange, right? You're providing value, they're providing you with money, right? And they want to make sure that they're getting value for their money. And something as simple as a house wash, it kind of seems like an easy transactional type of dealing, but to a lot of people, $8,000-9,000 for a clean home is a significant amount of money, and they want to make sure that they're not overpaying. And so by asking the questions, addressing their concerns is going to allow you to, understand where they're coming from. And then you can build your sales pitch, if you will, around those points. And that's going to make you not only a value to them, right? But you're going to be able to increase your prices. You're going to be able to sell more. You're going to be able to close more jobs. You're going to be a better salesperson. And it comes with time. I've made a bunch of videos about this and some of the things that you can talk about.
Yep. And you can accomplish all these things by increasing your lead flow, because that's how you take your power back, having more leads than, time to service those leads. Because then you get to choose who you work for. You get to choose how much you're going to charge, and everything kind of falls into place there. So let's answer a couple questions, Mike, if you're cool with that.
Sure.
And then we can jump right into it. We got Ricky Carter here. I live in a small rural town, won't allow bandit signs. Facebook hasn't worked in the past very well. I get a lot of my jobs by referrals. I was wondering what else you would suggest. You want to go first, Mike?
Yeah. So living in a small rural town, that makes it a little bit more difficult. Population density is definitely a thing. And so not knowing where you live, Ricky, I would encourage you to broaden your, geographical area that you're covering and start marketing to those areas as well. If you're isolated and your business is contingent upon a very small population, and you want it to continue to get bigger, and you want your business to grow and scale and make more money, then you're going to have to, broaden, your geographical range. So I would do that. I don't know what you're doing on Facebook, but, one of the things that I have started to do, Justin has been doing for a while, is using video as a means to grab the attention of the people that are scrolling through. Justin has done a free training here where he goes through absolutely everything that you can do to craft, create, and build a beautiful video ad that you can, run on Facebook ads. If you want to spend the money, just run them on just regular posts. You can put them on your GM. You can use these things everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are trying to get eyes on your business. These video ads really work. Justin goes over exactly. It's at qiqads.com, and he tells you exactly what to do. It's all about the music, the satisfying footage, the filming of yourself working, what the voiceover is, the call to action. All of these things come into play, and in his method, these videos that he creates, they're proven, right? And if you don't want to make your own, you can go over to qiqads.com, and we've got, I think, 15 or 16 different ads for pretty much every service that you can imagine. And we'll create, a custom logo, your company name, your logo, website, all that stuff, a voiceover with all of your information. You run those things, you look like a professional, you sound like a professional, and it's going to stop the scrolling, and it's going to get people to message you, call you, whatever it is that your call to action is on those particular ads. So that's one thing to think about as far as Facebook. How much are you spending on Facebook? If you're not seeing good results, maybe increase it, or maybe you need to be focusing some ad spend over at Google, Google Guaranteed, right? Something like that. Referrals are great, but you can only get so many referrals, especially in a small town. Bandit signs, that sucks. I've run into that too, that, some jurisdictions are more, they've got bigger issues. What I did find out about bandit signs is in a lot of areas, you can actually go and you can apply for a license to put out your signs, right? And I can't remember what the specifics were, but it was like if you were having a sale of some sort, right? They'll allow you to put out bandit signs for like 30 days. You pay like $25 or whatever. But I would call whoever is telling you not to put out bandit signs, call them and ask them if you can apply for a license for like special, occasion for putting out bandit signs. Do that.
Okay, perfect. My turn, Mike.
Yes.
If you guys notice, he never put anywhere in here about Google. So like if you're not on Google, obviously that's priority number one, right? Because what happens if we want to know something? We Google it, okay? And all of your customers are Googling it, and they are not finding you because you are not on Google. So number one, get a Google My Business listing. Organically, you can get a ton of reviews on it. You can start ranking organically. Next step will be Google Ads. You can get Google Local Service ads. You could run Google Ads in. There's a bunch of ways that you can kind of do that in order to get more leads in. And then you need to backwards engineer who your customer is, where they're looking for the service, and how can we get in front of them. And a large majority of that's going to be on Google. That's where the big business is done. That's where all of the commercial facilities are calling in your area. That's just where you need to be. So, Ricky, obviously do as much as you can while you're waiting for the Google and stuff to get approved. Get some flyers, get some door hangers, knock doors, shake hands, kiss babies, walk into places that look dirty. There's a lot of things that you can do. You just got to get moving in the right direction.
Yep.
How old is Mike, and what age did he get started?
I am 49 years old, and I'm an older gentleman. And because of that, I've got wrinkles and gray hair and beady eyes and a stressed face. But when did I get started? Like 22 years ago, right? I started 22 years ago. Business is almost as old as Justin.
Wow. Now that's saying something right there, big guy. I like what I'm hearing. Okay, let's see what else we got. Someone said Slurpee with a confused face and a different emoji. I expect to only talk down 5%. I can't afford that. I forget about getting the service. I don't know what that means, Simon, but we appreciate you for being here. I'm not marketing at all. How come I'm not getting any jobs?
Well, Joey, so the first thing that you need to do if you're not getting jobs is market.
That would be step number one. I think Joey was trying to make a joke. Joey,
it was funny, and I appreciate his humor. Thank you, Joey.
We appreciate your comedic value, Joey. Is good. Hey guys, just starting out. I've budgeted $3,000 a month in marketing. My question is, should I focus on single family homes starting out, or should I go after apartments and senior living places also?
All of them.
All of the above. Anything that makes the most money. Obviously, if you're just starting out, though, focus on single family. I can guarantee you don't have the equipment necessary to tackle
I
large.
don't know. He's spending $3,000 a month in marketing. So
Another
maybe
thing is, with regards to marketing, tie your marketing to something that scales. So, like, I would tie your marketing in, like, obviously 3K is a good bottom budget. So make 3K the number until you scale your sales to a certain point, and then attach the number to sales once it gets over 3K. So that way, if it's like 10% and your business does, I guess you'd have to do what, $30,000 to do 3K. Anyway, you want to tie it to something that scales so that way it's a rule for you, right? Because if you just leave it up to chance, you're not going to stick with it. So, but 3K is a great budget. Look at those Google ads that we talked about before. There's going to be a great way to go for you. Will there be a package with both Quote IQ and the call team?
Yeah, we have a package now. You can have Quote IQ and you can have the call team. And yeah, but Sean, the thing about it is we've got all kinds of things. We are not going to include the call team into one of our Quote IQ tiers simply because it would probably be so expensive. Like right now, our ultimate tier with InstaQuote is so underpriced. It's ridiculous. InstaQuote by itself could easily be, $200-$300 a month just for that as a standalone, but we have it included in the ultimate tier. And so if we were to throw, the call team in there, it's going to increase the price by at least $100. So what we're doing is we're just kind of doing a piecemeal on it. But like the pricing on this is ridiculous. And right now with the founders deal, like if you're thinking about it, just do it now. Like, because I don't even know. I think not a lot of slots left. So, and this is not some bullshit scarcity thing. Like there are dollars tied to overages, and now we're eating them because we want people in to experience this, to understand the value that this can have for your business.
Yep. So be sure to check out Quote IQ call team. You could also try it out, 912-689-3268, and see what it's all about. Okay, let's go to the next one. Commercial. Ricky says, I'm on Google, ranked second. Lots of Google reviews. Thanks for the tips, fellas. All right, so Ricky's already on Google, which is a good thing, right? Google's number one. From there, I guess ancillary methods of getting jobs in. Every single job you do, Ricky, I would do a 10 around, or if not the whole neighborhood, with regards to either knocking would be best, but you could also do flyers as well. They just say, hey, we just did work in your neighborhood. If you want, you'll get 10% off if you give us a call today, something of that nature. Because essentially you're in a game now where he said a lot of what he gets is referrals, but even if you get into Facebook groups, right? Neighborhood Facebook groups, that's how I leveraged a lot of my work early on too.
Right. Well, and Ricky also, he's in a rural area, so it's a lot easier to rank higher.
Right.
So that's why I said earlier, maybe think about spreading your geographical reach.
Yep. And then the other thing is you could always try every door direct mail. If you guys go through Postcard Mania and mention Quote IQ, I think you get like 1,000 free postcards. That way Ricky can kind of dial in
your
on
first order.
First order, 1,000 free postcards. That way you can kind of dial in on those area codes or the zip codes that have the most affluent zip codes, and you can kind of target those areas. Joey Warnick, Justin, who's your favorite, Batman or Iron Man? I don't know. I'd probably say Batman, but I do like Iron Man too. I don't know. Mike, what do you think?
This is one of these things that I actually think about a lot. No, and I'm dead serious because I think that both Batman and Iron Man are awesome. They're both billionaires, right? They are both. They don't have actual superpowers, but they've got the means to be total badasses, right? Batman, he isn't really mechanized, just depending on which Batman we're talking about, because you've got the Dark Knight, or from the graphic novel, not the movies, where he's got I'm kidding. I could go real nerd here.
I'd probably rather be Iron Man though, because he's got the suit that does all kind of cool shit. But then again, Batman is just like really cool. Like he's got cool cars and stuff too. So,
dude, Tony Stark. But everybody knows that Tony Stark is Iron Man, so that's kind of cool too.
Joey said the correct answer was Iron Man, but he won't hold it against.
Okay, Joey, the correct answer is not Iron Man, because I've not yet told you why. No, I'm kidding.
Anyway, okay, sweet. We'll take one more question from Mob right here. Sorry, another question was starting out. Would you offer free/discounted services for a house in front of the neighborhood in exchange for a week of a yard sign?
No. This is what I would suggest. It's not a bad idea. A discount, not for free. So offer a discount, but most people are probably going to allow you to do that anyway. So, if you're just starting out and people know you're just starting out, I think just if they're good humans, they're not going to try to beat you up for price, because like a lot of people have been there, understand, that there are, it's tough to do your thing. So offer a discount, don't offer to do it for free. What I would do is find nice neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that you want to work in, the neighborhoods that you want to target. And on a weekend, on a Saturday, when it's busy, that's when you schedule a couple jobs, right? Schedule the job, put up signs, do your 5 rounds. Your machine's going to be making noise. You're going to be spraying. People are going to be driving by. Hopefully your truck is lettered up. Hopefully you've got signage. And that is going to be just visual word of mouth, if you will. And that can have a really good, return. Even if you do a discount, hey, I'm going to be in the neighborhood on Saturday. We would love to, offer you a 10% discount and whatever. But like, I think that's better. A lot of neighborhoods also don't allow signs. So mine doesn't.
Okay, now my turn. It's been 22 years since Mike started his business. Okay, so it's been a long time. I would say this: doing work is better than not doing anything. Okay, I think too many guys get stuck into like this middle phase of like not knowing what to do, and this like purgatory, if you will, right? They want to start their business, they don't know what direction to move. I think if this is an idea that you have, then just roll with it, make it happen, and just give it a try, right? What's the worst thing that could happen? It doesn't work out. At the end of the day, like I said, doing work and making movement and progress is better than not doing anything at all. So I wouldn't let giving a discount, or even if you did some free work just to try to gain some exposure. My buddy Chris built his whole business on doing free work for people. He built his whole parking lot striping business, all commercial work. He did a free job for a Little Caesars, and it turned into an $8,000 job less than a year later. And so it just goes to show that if you do some free work for the right people, then that can turn into more work. However, don't let people take advantage of you. So I think that taking action and doing free work is better than not taking action towards anything at all. So
Matthew got a speeding ticket.
Yikes. Is he going to have to go to driving school?
No, we pay the tickets and just be done with it.
Wow. Someone's getting a spanking later today. So anyway, we just we wanted to come on here and share some things with you guys. Mike, anything else before we wrap this thing up?
No. Hey, James Bass.
Mike won't be here tomorrow, so that's why we're doing this today. If you guys haven't already checked out the virtual call team, if you haven't already hit the thumbs up button on the video, be sure to hit it. Be sure to hit it. It'll be the first link in the comment section description of the virtual call team. We're super excited about it. Only a few slots left on Founders Deal. We're not sure when exactly we're ending this. It's going to be soon though, because we're building out currently the overage rates. And the overage rates, like as you guys can see here, they will be, I don't know, what are they, 75 cents a minute after whatever you hit, these numbers. So
and the crazy thing is like if you go and you compare, right, and I encourage everybody to go and compare Quote IQ with every other CRM that kind of is in our space, right? Compare it. Look at the value. Again, we're going back to value. Look at the value that everybody offers compared to the price. And then I want you to go and look at the Quote IQ virtual team and then go compare that to every other call service. And what you're going to see is some people are charging $2 per minute overage, right? $2 per minute, it's insane. Now, the company that I used previously, they were not as excessive. It was $1.75. And, when you've got a significant, amount of calls coming in, that can start to add up. But I want you also not only to look at the overage fees that these companies charge, and they're screwing you over just like these other CRMs are. But if you look at just their monthly prices, it's it's ridiculous, and that's why it's not attainable and not something that a lot of people can do, but what a lot of people need to make their businesses scalable. And we are just doing everything we can to maintain the low prices, but provide the maximum amount of value for you guys.
James Bassett, sorry I've missed so many live chats. James, you're punished. You're not allowed to come here and watch any more lives because you've missed too many. I'm just kidding.
It's great. He's busy. That's why.
Chandler Barlow says, "What's up, guys? Joined late." Chandler, appreciate for having. Yeah, I was just joking, James. By the way. And we got the last one is Joe Cousin says, "When is the next time you two go live again?" We go live every Friday, probably around 1 to 3 Eastern, depending.
Yeah.
On what the schedule looks like. You know what I'm saying?
And it's also summertime, so some there might be some Fridays like this Friday where I'm not going to be available, and next Friday where I'm not going to be available.
You're not going to be available next Friday either?
No.
Dang, this is the first I'm hearing about this guy, so we'll have to move the next Friday's live to probably Thursday again.
James he's got the hall pass.
Damn, 65K in the past 3 weeks. James, shoot us an email. support@quoteiq.io. I'll put it in the chat because that way we can have you on to talk about all of your success in your wash business. I'm going to put it in the chat. I'm sure everybody would love to know how that 65K breaks down.
Mike, what happened a few weeks ago when the whole stream froze up? It was on Justin's birthday. Justin is the technical guy. So I just sit here and talk, and Justin is kind of the guy that, sets all this up. And actually, I have no clue what was going on. We had, they're running fiber optics in our neighborhood, like further on. I've had it for like 2 years, but they are, I don't know if it's a new company, but so they've been digging holes all up and down the main road, and they have knocked out our power. How many times? Twice. They've knocked out our cable multiple times. And that day on Justin's birthday, in honor of Justin's birthday, they decided that they were going to kill our interwebs. And so I was going from actual internet, like Wi-Fi to connecting to my phone, and it just wasn't working.
Just pour one out for the boys. So anyway, we're going to wrap here. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Mike, what's the word of the day?
I don't know.
65K is the word of the day. Shouts out to James Bass for absolutely crushing it. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. And we'll see y'all probably next Thursday then.
Yeah, probably.
So anyway, until next time, I'll get that money, baby.